Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon X and Y live Wi-Fi battle. So, today I have one, and I will go over my team in a second once the battle gets accepted. Okay, so we have the same team we're using as yesterday with one slight difference. So, we have our Speed Boost Sharpedo, we have our Assault Vest Mesprit, we have our Physically Offensive Vanillex, we have Articuno, Specially Offensive, Electrode, our Choice Specs Electrode, and our Physically Offensive Meganium. So, looking at her team, she has, I'm predicting her to lead out with the Absol. So, I'm going to lead out with Electrode, predicting that switch because Electrode can deal a lot of damage, as well as we don't have to risk anything being magic bounced. So, I'm not too concerned about that. I apologize if you can hear me moving on my beanbag chair. Just trying to get in a less awkward position. Okay, there we go. So, let's see here. Am I going to be right? Is she going to lead out with the Absol? Okay, no. She's going to lead out with Delphox. That's not so bad. Delphoxes can be specially defensive, I think. I think they do carry at least a decent bit of special defense. But in any case, right here, I'm just going to Volt Switch because I don't know what Delphox wants to do. So, it could be, we can scout what it's going to go for, as well as we can scout if it's Choice Scarf. I don't see that very often, but I have seen it before, so it's not entirely uncommon. That only did about half. Delphox is pretty bulky. I'm assuming this is a max HP set based on how much that did, so we don't have really anything to be worried about. I'm going to switch over to Mesprit, because Mesprit can, it can take anything a Delphox wants to go for, especially since it is Assault Vested. Okay, so they're going to go for Fire Blast. Yeah, like I said, we can take any hit. So here I'm just going to go for a Thunderbolt, because that's the only thing we have that's neutral. Everything else we have, or we also have U-Turn that's neutral, but I kind of want to stay in, you know. Okay, so, Absol, this is slightly frightening. I'm assuming this is the Mega. If not, then they're using Mega Lucario, which is Ubers, so... yeah, we're going to go over to our Vanillex, because that is our physically offensive tank, and we don't want to take a Sucker Punch if that's what they're going for. So, we will be able to scout right here. Okay, this is their Mega, so we do not have to worry about them using Ubers, unlike yesterday. So, that's good. Alright, so let's see here. They're going to go for a Night Slash. That is fine with me. We do not run any speed on our Mesprit, so I wasn't too concerned, so I'm not too concerned about switching out. They probably would have outsped, because Mega Absols generally carry quite a bit of speed. We're going to go for an Ice Beam right here, just because it's the thing we have that's going to hit neutral and going to hit the hardest, because our only other move is Ice Beam. I probably should change Ice Beam on this thing to Freeze Dry, but I don't know. I kind of prefer Ice Beam on this thing, because we want to do as much damage as possible with a Pokemon that is, it's not meant for dealing damage so much as just taking damage. Although having a physical ice type, or having a physically offensive ice type is not really the best thing. And we do get the freeze here, which is very nice. So let's see here. I'm pretty sure I have at least something with Earthquake. Yeah, we do have Meganium as well as we have Sharpedo, but I don't want to risk losing Sharpedo right at least this early, because if it defrosts, I know Meganium can take one, whereas Sharpedo definitely can't, especially not from a Lucario of all things, because this thing's probably Life Orb. I believe that's generally what they carry. Okay, so they're going to go for an Aura Sphere. I'd prefer if it was a close combat, I think, but either way, it doesn't really matter. Never mind. I think Meganium has a little bit more physical defense and special defense, but I could be wrong. I would check on that, but I don't really want to, and it kind of interrupt the recording, and I sound all awkward, so yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how much an Earthquake is actually going to do here. I'm pretty sure it'll kill the Lucario, so long as she doesn't switch out. So we should be fine. Okay, she's gonna go for the Aura Sphere here. I know you can take another one, seeing how much the last one did, and we do carry the Citrus Berry because, like I've said before in a couple different recordings, I never carry the same item on two different Pokemon, unless it's an accident, and that doesn't happen too often, just sometimes. So that will kill the Lucario, which is very nice. Lucario is no longer a threat to this team. So, let's see here. What is she gonna go out into now? I forgot to take a picture of her team because I'm really, really stupid. So, we'll see here. What is she going to go into? I really wish I had taken a picture of her team so I would at least have something to talk about at this point without sounding all awkward and whatever. Okay. So, okay, she's going to go out into Delphox. I'm pretty sure we do outspeed Delphox. No, we don't. Never mind. I forgot how slow Meganium actually is. In any case, we're going to go out into Mesprit, because Mesprit can take the Fire Blast very well, as we saw before, as well as we can hit this thing with a Thunderbolt or maybe a U-turn, depending on the situation. I'm pretty sure Delphox doesn't get Shadow Ball, but maybe it does. She's actually going to miss the Fire Blast, which is nice. It didn't really matter because it did like 50 damage last time, so we can take about 5, we can take 5 Fire Blasts. And considering how much PP Fire Blast has, unless it's PP up, which doesn't generally happen without Pokégen, so I'm pretty sure we'd be fine there. Okay, she's gonna switch out into Go-Go. Go-Go is actually really frightening, because Go-Go is really bulky. That's gonna do absolutely nothing. Of course, that's not the attack we're worried about, I guess. Let me check Go-Go's base speed. I'm pretty sure Go-Go has like base 65 or so, but in case it does outspeed Mesprit, I don't want to be surprised and end up losing this thing, because we do need it to check the Delphox. So, Go-Go. I'm checking it on my phone, if you're wondering. So let's see here. We can't actually do anything until we know whether or not we outspeed, because if not, I have to hard switch out instead of stupid autocorrect. I did not mean gloat. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna look this up. Go-Goat. There. Yes. Okay. We successfully searched it. Now it's just a matter of my internet. Okay. Or just, like my phone not loading. You know what? We're just gonna go ahead and guess that we're faster and go for the U-turn. No. Okay, fine. My phone loaded, so never mind. We don't have to guess. My internet is not the greatest, if you can't tell. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, we do outspeed. Not by too much, but we do outspeed. So we can go ahead and U-turn out. Unless this Go-Go is running speed, which I have never actually seen, because that'd be kind of ridiculous. Unless you were trying to outspeed something specific, but generally you don't try and outspeed things with Go-Go, because it's fairly bulky. Okay, so, let's go into our defensive Vanillux, because Vanillux can take any hit this thing wants to go for. Even a Leaf Blade, we can take that fairly well. If Vanillux at full HP can actually take a Brave Bird, or not Brave Bird, well, it can't take a Brave Bird, but it can take a Flare Blitz from a Talonflame, which is kind of ridiculous, but that just goes to show what happens when you invest full HP and full defense into any Pokemon. Although Vanillux does has a decent amount of defense, it has base 85, I believe. But even so, that's not like a ton. There are Pokemon out there that have much more than that. For example, Huntail and Gorbis actually have base 105, despite them being Pokemon you generally use to sweep rather than being bulky Pokemon. Although I have used defensive Huntail, it didn't work out too well though, because it doesn't get a ton of defensive move other than like Toxic and Confuse Ray. So that's actually gonna do quite a dying. That's actually gonna be doing quite a bit to the Delphox. So we're gonna switch out here because we can. And seeing as she has not predicted us before, we're just gonna go back into Mesprit, as well as this thing might be maybe choice specs based on how she hasn't switched moves, or just doesn't carry Shadow Ball, because that's the only thing it could really hit us with. Okay. So, I'm assuming she might predict this time, because it's going to be the 3rd time that I've done this. So, we'll see here. Hooray. See, these are the times when there's not much to say, when it's just like an awkward pause. So, whatever. Alright, so we're going to go out into our Mesprit, and let's see how much a Fire Blast does. It's going to do, it's probably going to bring us down to a little bit over half, or under half. Never mind. That sucks. So, I think we're just going to go for a U-turn, because I know it'll kill the Delphox from here because it's neutral, as well as if she switches out into like Go-Goat or something, we will be fine too. So I'm not too concerned. Mesprit should be able to do anything it should be able to take a Fire Blast if she wants to go for another one, and it should be able to kill off the Go-Goat if she switches out into that. So we should be fine in almost any situation. So let's see here. What's she going to go out into? She's going to switch out the Delphox and go into Vaporeon. Okay, so that's nice because Vaporeon is actually quite threatening, but we do have Electrode to do quite a bit of damage to this thing. If I'm not mistaken, these are generally specially defensive, so we can't do like a lot to it because Vaporeon is really bulky, but we should still be doing a decent amount to it because Vaporeon is, you know, or I mean, we are a Choice Specs Electrode, which is essentially base 120 special attack, so it's quite a bit, especially with the super effective hit. So yeah. Let's see how much it's gonna do. I'm pretty sure it'll bring Vaporeon down to about 3/4, unless she switches out. But I don't think she has anything immune to it, or any ground types, in other words. So we should be fine. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, okay, so it does only have 5 PP because it said that she had not used any PP ups. So, yep, that will actually kill the Vaporeon. That's kind of surprising. Maybe she's running a physically defensive Vaporeon. I don't know. I think that's what they carry, actually. I'm not entirely sure. I don't deal with Vaporeons too often, just because they're not that common. Even in UU, Umbreon is more common than Vaporeon, despite them both being in it. Just because Umbreon has slightly better defenses, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see here what she's gonna go into now. Oh no, computer screen, don't go black. There we go. Okay. Oh, she's taking so long. I mean, Electrode is a threat, but I mean, come on, it can't be that hard. Unless she doesn't have any special defensive walls, which could be fine. I've learned my lesson about not running defensive walls. It's kind of important to run them, because it is. So yeah, I think Thunderbolt will actually take the Go-Go out from here, unless it's like specially offensive, which it very well could be, seeing how much that U-turn did earlier on. So we're gonna go for a Thunderbolt. And even if it doesn't kill and we lose Electrode, it's not a big deal. It already did its fair share. So we'll see if the Thunderbolt. Yeah, okay, the Thunderbolt actually does kill. Oh, that crit might have mattered, actually. I will probably do the damage calculations afterwards, but I don't want to pull up the damage calculator in the middle of the recording because it takes up most of my screen when I am recording. Yeah, you guys probably don't care. Alright, so I'm thinking she's probably going to go into Delphox or Pidgeot. That works too. Does she think she outspeeds, or maybe she thinks she'll live the hit? It could be a Focus Sash Pidgeot, but even so, I'm pretty sure we can live a return. Pidgeot only has base 80 attack, and that's not much. Okay, she's just gonna forfeit. That's fine. I wish I knew what the rest of her team was, so I knew if we could win easy or whatever. I'm not gonna save that battle, because we're doing a live, so there's no need to save it. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.